Okay, for the final masking tutorial for desktop, we're going to do the composite mask. If I click on topic 6 for masking and you scroll down, this is the final composite mask. For this one, there are no images provided. You're going to find your own images. So I'm going to walk you through how to do that right now and how to get started. So for the composite mask, I have it on here that you are going to find an image to use for your background, as well as two other images to combine. So think about combining like an animal and a human or two different animals, things that don't normally go together. We're going to use masking to do so. So the more wild, the better. The way I'm going to start is I'm going to take to Google, and I already have my search here. I've kind of already decided as I was brainstorming, I'm going to combine some wings with a rhino and have it flying in the sky. So I'm going to first search for a cloud background. I already have my images. I'm just going to show you what my process was here. So let's say we click on a background that we like. The first thing you're going to do is let your mouse rest on the image and check the pixel count. So on the assignment, I have here that the background images should be close to 2000 pixels, whereas your items that you're combining can be a little less, between 900 and 1500. So by clicking on the image to begin with, you get the preview, and then when you put your mouse on it, you see the pixel count. So these are all a little too small. So I'm going to keep searching here for something that looks like what I want, and just be patient. Like this one, great, between 3 and 2000 pixels. So typically what I do is I right click, open the image in a new tab, or it will automatically download. And what you're looking for is that this is just an image that is clear, crisp, not pixelated, doesn't have a bunch of watermarks across it, and that should work. The same thing when I'm looking for my other images. I'm going to click on these images and just make sure the quality is high. This is a little bigger than what I need, but it's better to go bigger than smaller. You just don't want to be so far out of the range. Something in the 6,000 pixels might be a little too much. So once you gather your images and save them, we're going to go ahead and jump over to Photoshop. I have my document created, but I'll do that with you here. And again, I just want to point out that your information is here. You're going to create a 8.5 by 11-inch document in Photoshop. So 8.5 by 11. Right now, this is in the vertical orientation. I'm going to flip it over to horizontal because that is how my background picture is oriented. So that just I know it'll fit better. And your resolution is always going to be 300. I'm going to actually exit out of this because I already have one created. My first job is going to be to get the background onto that document. So I'm going to click over. So all my images, I have them opened. So if I go to File, Open, I have all my images downloaded here. So I'm going to open those one at a time. Come back over to my cloud background. I'm going to use my marquee tool to click and drag and select the entire image. And I'm going to edit copy, go back to my untitled, edit paste. All right, it's not big enough. So I'm going to go to edit free transform or Command T. And I'm going to drag it. You might lose a little bit of the images, and that's okay. It's just important that it fills the whole space. And then click return on your keyboard when you are finished. I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other two images. So I'm going to select, copy, paste. Forgot I had two wings here, so I'll have to decide which one I want to use. Close out of that because I already copied it. And then go to my rhino. Copy, paste. Okay, now my rhino came in as a true PNG. I'm going to go ahead and fit this on the screen so it's nice and big. So you'll notice it already doesn't have a background. I want at least one of your images to have a background, just so that way you can actually do the masking exercise. And I think for this one, for this example, I'm going to go ahead and select the wings that kind of match the aesthetic of the rhino a little better with the silver. So we've learned how to mask with with text and with a shape. Now you're going to do it just with an image that has a background. So why masking is advantageous is it's called non-destructive. We can hide the background, and if we by chance clip a little bit of the wing, I can bring it back, and I'm going to show you. So rather than deleting, which is destructive, this is non-destructive. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Smart Selection tool and go ahead and select my wings. Okay. Easiest way to do this, once your image is selected, is just to come over to the layer options down here and find the layer mask icon and click, and that gets rid of your background. Now, you'll notice here that this little mask has popped up, and just like in the previous exercises, it's showing everything that's hidden in that picture. But what's great about masking, and for this, I need to make sure I'm actually clicked and selected on the mask, is I can come in and I can go to the paintbrush tool and switch between the white and the black to hide or reveal part of the picture. So I make my brush a little bit bigger here. So the way I remember it is black conceals. So there's a C in black, which goes with conceal, and white reveals. So if I take my black, you'll notice it's not painting black. It's just hiding. And then if I switch back to white, I can bring it back. So what's great about masking is that the image is always there. We're just telling the computer what we want to see and what we don't want to see. And here you'll notice it is picking up some of that background again. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to choose my magic wand, select all that white, go back to my black, and conceal. And that's essentially what masking is. Now if I zoom out, now I can start to assemble my image. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to flip this. So instead of going to free transform, underneath I'm going to go to transform, and I can flip this horizontally. And then under free transform, I can rotate. So rotating, you just bring your mouse out to the outside and it'll be a curved shape. I'm going to figure out the best spot to connect these. And I think I'm going to bring my wings in front. I'm going to zoom in here. And I'm going to see if any of the blend modes kind of help that to look like it is more attached to the rhino. So I'm going to kind of go through here and see if any of these work. I think they're all a little too destructive for what I want to do here. So instead, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to bring the opacity down on this wing a little bit so it's more see-through. And then I'm going to click on the mask. And I'm going to use the black to kind of come through and just slightly hide what's along the rhino's body. Now, if I bring my opacity back up on the picture, all right, now if I bring the rhino in front, it's a little bit softer and feels a little bit more like it's attached. All right. Now, I think that I want this rhino to feel like it's kind of within the cloud. So I'm going to hide these real quick. And I'm going to come over to my cloud background. And I'm going to use the quick selection tool. I'm going to select this cloud here. And I'm going to copy and paste. I should be able to use my arrow tool to move. I'm going to turn these back on and bring that cloud in front. And I think right here is where I'm going to drop this. And then I might try a blend mode on my cloud here to see if I can get it to kind of blend a little bit, but still look like it's in front of the rhino. Ooh, that one looks really good. So lighten. I'm going to use that one. All right. And at this point, I really have kind of created my composite mask. I think I'm going to go ahead and paste that cloud again. And again, use the lighten. just to kind of create that billowy cloud effect so it doesn't look so isolated. And there's my rhino emerging from the clouds with its wings on. So I'm going to go ahead and save on my computer. I'm going to make sure, because I have layers now, I'm going to have to save a copy and make this a JPEG. Hit save, and then I'm going to insert this after it's high quality into the corresponding module 2 page or journal page that says composite mask.